Today, I'm going to show you how to enable AI Assistant within the Amazon Connect, which is a virtual call center that most companies use nowadays. When the customer calls, this AI Assistant is able to provide relevant information and make suggestions to our human call center staff that what the customer is probably asking for. So let's watch a demo first. So we are at the call center Amazon Connect workspace. You can see a call is coming in. We're going to pick it up and see what the customer says and what Amazon Q is going to do for us. So let's pick up the call. We'll accept it.
Raise a queue.
Hello. Hi, I need some help. I have just lost my credit card. Can you help me to work it out? What should I do now? Okay, so I'm just on mute on the call myself. You can see from the right side, the Amazon Q is already providing, hey, here is a suggestion. Do you want to look at how we're going to solve a lost credit card problem? You click on that, and it will generate the responses based on the content, the knowledge base we provided, which is grounded to our SharePoint side. And if you go to the sources, these are the files that I have uploaded to my SharePoint. And you can click on them as well. And it actually loads directly within this workspace. And you can see related article. These are all the files in my document libraries. Now let's keep talking. I'll unmute myself on the phone call, pretend I'm the customer. And also, I like to know how can I apply a small business loan. I have an idea that I want to do start a cafe. I wonder whether I can get a small business loan. Okay, so I'm on mute again, but you can see our Amazon Q has dynamically suggested that the customer needs assistance with a small business loan. And if this is what also the staff thinks the intent is, they can click on that and it will generate responses for you to help the customer what do they need to do with the citation as well. If we don't use Amazon Q in Connect, we have also built a Copilot agent that has been integrated with Amazon Connect, and you can access it directly under your workspace within Amazon Connect. You can ask the same questions that you would normally ask, and this Copilot agent is being grounded with the same data source on SharePoint. And in fact, you can bring any agent you want and ground it with any resources you want to fit different scenario. Let's see how we did that. First, you're going to log on to your AWS and bring up your Amazon Connect from here. Once you go to the Amazon Connect, you can see this is where we are, instances. You probably have nothing here. This is something I created before, so you will click on Add an Instance. I'm going to select Store Users in Amazon Connect. You will probably, in the real scenario, connect to your existing IDP to synchronize with your users. I'm going to also give a URL. You can call whatever you want. This URL, you will be using it to access your Amazon Connect to manage your call center stuff. And here you're going to do an administrator for the Amazon Connect. Remember, this is different from your AWS admin. Next page, I'm allowing both telephony options. Just go next. These are all the default. I'm not changing my storage. It's just for demo. It's gonna be F3. Then we go next, and then we are done. Go create instance. This is how easy you can create a data center that can be used anywhere in the world. Once the instance is ready, you're going to click on this access URL. This is how you can log on to your Amazon Connect. We're going to use the user we just created, the admin user for AWS Connect. Login. So the first thing, we need to get your numbers. Some of you might see a wizard that says let's go. We didn't see here, so let's click on this begin on the first one. Claim your phone number in order to receive and make calls. Begin. You're going to pick your country. I'm going to select Australia. Leave it as a direct inward dialing, and all the numbers that's available to you will automatically comes up. So just pick one you like. I'm going to pick this 359 and go next. Now let's just continue by making a phone call to this number. I'm calling using my mobile phone.
These are some examples of what the Amazon Connect Virtual Contact Center can enable you to do. Press 1 to be put in queue for an agent. 2 to securely enter content. 3 to...
That's it. As you can hear, our call center is set up and ready to go. Next, let's enable the AI assistant, Amazon Q, in Connect. So we click on this instance here and look for Amazon Q. Now, just FYI, Amazon Q in Connect is slightly different from Amazon Q Business. Obviously, this is a cut down version, has limited options, but it's embedded within the Amazon Connect. So first thing you need to do is add a domain. You're going to go add a domain. You're going to create a new domain. If you don't have one, I think I have existing domain, a couple actually from my previous experiments. You're going to create a new one, and your data is always encrypted by default. So here I'm just going to uncheck this for the advanced option, and we will click on add a domain. And that's it. That's all you need to do. Next is to add integration. This is where we're going to add integration to connect our Amazon Q in Connect with SharePoint. So click on add integration. We're going to create a new integration here. And the source, we're going to select Microsoft SharePoint Online. Acknowledge that. I have quite a bit, so I just give another name, SharePoint. And I also have a connection, but I will create a new one so we can walk through this together. Now, when you create a connection from Amazon Connect to SharePoint Online, you need to provide a tenant ID, which is your Azure tenant ID. Click on Next. We need a name, of course, a connection name. Connection, because you can add multiple connections. Actually, you can click on Connect first. It's going to prompt you to log in. I've already logged into my SharePoint. That's why you will probably need to log in. And also, you should choose a key if you don't have one to encrypt. I'm just going to go next here. I can't. So actually, you have to provide a key. So which I click on this if you don't have one. This create key page. I've already created one before. And you can set your sync frequency. So we're going to leave it on hour. Go next. Now the connection is established. You can see all your SharePoint site here. The one I'm using here is a site I call work instructions, which contain a couple of documents that I mock up. They're not real documents. You can see here a few documents that I asked ChatGPT to make. So we're going to select the documents folder here. And be aware of the connector limitation when it connects to the SharePoint. Only PDF, TXT docs, HTML, HTML will be imported. And I believe on Amazon documentation, it also talks about the size. Go next. And go add integration. We are almost ready to test the AI assistant within Amazon Connect. Now, one more thing to check before we do that is click on the analytics tools under the application on the left on your instance. Now, we want to make sure contact lens is enabled. What that does is it provides live transcription and also analytics. It will feed its information to Amazon Q to provide the generative responses. We're at our last step. So go back to your Amazon Connect admin, which is this one. Okay, it looks different from your Amazon AWS. We're gonna go to the routing and flows. So this tells your queue when a call comes in, how it's being routed. And we need to edit the route to add the Amazon queue, the intelligent part for our AI assistants. Now, if you're all confused on these flows and don't know what to do, I'll suggest you edit the default one, which is called first contact. And this is the first one now, when I tested before, that's one you heard on my phone over the speakers. Because I don't really also know how these flows works. So all you need to do is come to this default workflow and add the flow box we needed to this at the very beginning. Now the first block we need to add is called set recording and analytics behavior. Now let's just do set recording and try to find it. Where is this? Set recording and analytics behavior. So plus sign here, like that. And the second one is called Amazon Q. So the first set recording analytics behavior will provide the transcription and analytics, and that will feed to our Amazon Q Connect. So what we do here is we break this first one, because remember we want them as a first and second block. So we will start from here and drag to your set recording, and the set recording goes to your Amazon Q Connect. Then Amazon Q Connect can go back on success, of course. Go back to our existing flow. Now what do you do with the error? I don't really want to understand this. It seems quite complex flow, so I'm just going to drag this error to another error. So just combine them. Did it connect? Next, we need to configure these two blocks. So just click on that and it should open up the page. So you're going to go to the voice. The recording has to be on, and I'm leaving with agent customer. If it's not on, then you cannot enable this speech analysis on agent and custom voice, and that's what we want. That's the main thing. And also we want the real-time post-call analysis. So real-time and post-call. Leave the English language and go save. Next, we'll click on this Amazon Q. We'll go to the domain that we used before. We created that before. We'll connect the domain and go save. Then we can go save again, which saved the whole flow, and publish. Now before we try the AI agent, just quickly show you my work instruction SharePoint site, and these are 4 documents I uploaded, which is a mock-up on some basic banking related procedures. Back to our Amazon Connect, let's try it. So you're gonna click on this agent workspace. Okay, let's put a full screen. So you can see this is what a workspace looks like for your call center staff. And we can see the Amazon queue is already loaded here, ready to go. Now we're just gonna bring ourselves online, available. And this is me calling. So I'm gonna accept the call.
Basic queue.
Okay. Hi, I just lost my bank card. I'm very, I don't know what to do now. Can you tell me what should I do in this kind of situation? So I just go on mute on my phone. Now on the right, you can see the Amazon queue already kicked in. It says here a new suggestion to seek guidance on what to do after losing bank card. Now your call center staff, what they want to do is just click on this. And you can see the generative AI in action. It tells you what to do and also citing the sources. These are the same files that I have uploaded to my SharePoint. And if you click on that, it actually opens the content within the Amazon Connect workspace. Okay, so I'll unmute myself on my mobile and keep talking. Also, I'd like to get some help on how to get a business loan. I'm thinking to start a small business like a cafe, and I wonder what's the process of applying a small business loan. I'm just going to mute again on my mobile phone. So on the right, you can see Amazon queue has kicked in again. Here's a new suggestion. The customer is seeking guidance on what to do after, this is the last one. So this new one, customer is seeking assistance on two main issues. What to do after losing bank card and how to apply a business loan. So if you click on that, it should give you the response. And it will also give you a citation. So this is extremely helpful for your call center staff to provide a consistent experience and accurate information. And extremely helpful as well to new starters to help them onboard quicker. And after the caller has hung up the phone, it's called the post-analysis. You can see the transcription has been provided, the whole call transcription here. And it's pretty cool. Okay, so that's pretty cool. But what if we can't use Amazon Q within Connect for whatever reason? Maybe your enterprise does not let you to use Amazon AI. Maybe they don't like you connect Amazon Q to the SharePoint as external data source. So what can we do as alternative? Now you can see this app drop down here within the workspace. It means we can bring external app into here. So next, I'm going to show you how we can build a Copilot agent within the Microsoft Copilot Studio and bring them in here. Now, Microsoft has made creating Copilot agent extremely easy. So I'm not going to show you step by step how to do it. You probably can work it out yourself. You can also use a Copilot to help you to create an agent. And what I'm going to talk about next is a few tips and tricks and limitations, what we can do with Copilot Studio, especially when we want to embed it or integrate it with the Amazon Connect. Now, first of all, when you create an agent, always make sure you have ticked on or toggled on this orchestration, which will give you better response using generative AI. That's number one. Number two is you should have at least one Copilot 365 license, which will bump up your file size to 200 meg. Otherwise, it's only 7 meg. It's almost unusable. So this is very important. You have at least one Microsoft 365 license for your tenant. And under the settings in your Copilot Studio, you can go turn on the enhanced search results, which I don't have at the moment, so I can't show you these settings. Now the caveat here is the enhanced search result will only work when you agent is set to authenticate with Microsoft. So keep that in your head, and we will get back to that. Now back to the knowledge. we're going to add the knowledge to this Copilot agent. So first, we're going to add a public website. Now let's go add the whole domain. And go add to the agent. And next, we're going to add a few SharePoint documents. We're going to add the same SharePoint knowledge that we connected with our Amazon Q in Connect. So we go to add knowledge and then go SharePoint. And we're going to paste the citing. You should check out the quotas and limits for Copilot Studio because there are a lot of limitations you need to be aware of. And for example, we recommend to use, when you add a SharePoint URL, you should omit this HTTPS. So let's add our SharePoint site, the work instruction, without HTTPS. Just go add. And then go add to the agent. Of course, you can also add items one by one or directly, but we're not going to do that here. There are only 4 small files, so let's just test it here. We'll ask the same question because it is the same database. I'll say, I have lost my credit card. It's very slow. And it should give you a response. Now, authentication is not configured for this part. Why is that? We're going to go to the setting, under security, authentication. You see, for the SharePoint knowledge data source to work, you have to select authenticate with Microsoft. And on the previous page, I pointed out if you want to use the premier feature, the enhanced search results, you also have to use authenticate with Microsoft. So this is the only way that will work. Let's go back to our agent. Test it again. Hi, I have lost my card. I'm waiting for the result. And it's searching our work instructions SharePoint. Okay, so we know it's working. However, the problem is when we publish this bot with that turned on, the authentication with Microsoft turned on, it is not gonna give you the web URL. So this is what I mean. Let's stop this. Okay, we know it's working, and it's giving you reference from the website I add and also the work instructions, right? Document 2. So we know the bot is working fine. Now, here comes the next limitation. So when I go publish this agent, remember we need a web app to be integrated with Amazon Connect. There are a lot of channels that Copilot Studio supports when it creates agents. Now the problem here is because you choose Microsoft Authentication, only the Teams and Microsoft 365 channel and the SharePoint channel is available. Which means if we want to create a web app like this URL, it is not going to work. You can see on the top says this channel is turned off because of authentication settings, right? And if we go to this actual web app, which gives you embedded code, this is SDK, fully integrated experience with your web app. Well, it does not give you the web app URL that you could use using the Microsoft custom web chat app and other patterns. So we can try that. If we just copy this URL into our browser, what will happen? Because we need a web app. Okay, so that's not how you use it. And unfortunately, that's not what Amazon support. So in this case, we have to come back to our settings, go to the security and change the authentications. Now, just for demo purpose, I'm gonna integrate that to Amazon Connect. In reality, it's not much useful, isn't it? So we will probably wait for one of them to update and improve this service. For now, I'm gonna change to no authentication, which means I also can't use any of the SharePoint documents for grounding. So we'll go back to the knowledge and remove those SharePoint documents, and then we'll republish it and get the web URL and attach that to the Amazon Connect. We'll go publish and publish. And we know it does not require end user. That's fine because we are using a public website as the source. Now we are published with no authentication. You can see some warning here, right? And but we can get the website now. So let's copy this web URL, and we will go back to your AWS Connect, Amazon Connect. See this third-party application here? You're gonna click on that. This is one I already did, but in this case, we're gonna walk through this together. We're gonna click on Add Applications. So I'm just gonna call it Raven New App. The app identifier, you can call it anything you want. You're gonna leave this standard application because it's standard web. I'm leaving all these standard default applications, and here is where you paste your web URL from here. So we're gonna come here to the URL. Permission is all, means your user will get to it. However, under the instance, you need to associate that with the instance, our call center instance. In this case, is the caller, the one we just made. And then click on Add Applications. Here we go. The application is added. Next, you're gonna go back to your Amazon Connect admin portal. Look for the user on the left and go to your security profiles. So what we're gonna do is we are going to assign this application or give access to this application from a profile, and the users that associate with the security profile will get the access. So because I'm using admin, I'm gonna click on admin. You're gonna use something else for your actual private agent, for your actual workforce. So when you click on the security profile, we're gonna go down to the applications. Look for the application, agent applications. Click on that one. Now you can see the new one is called Raven New App. I'm gonna take this access. So the users with it that associate with this admin profile will have access to this app. So click on Save. Go Save. Actually, click on Show User. You can know which one is associated with, which is our admin. So we go Save. And now to test it, just go to your agent workspace. So let's reload it, maximize that. When we click on these apps, you should see, let's wait for it to refresh. I closed the window and I relaunched it. Now it's available here. So this is the Copilot Agent app that we just put in as a web app. So let's click on that one. Wait for it to load. I actually waited 5 minutes, so definitely don't rush on this. You go to apps now and you can see a new app. Click on that. Because it's a web app, so Amazon doesn't really do anything. You can just put it anywhere you want. And we can ask a question. I have lost my card. Now, remember, because of those limitations with authentications, this web app now, although it's built in the Copilot Studio agent, we are only grounding it with the public knowledge, which is a website. Of course, in real scenario, this doesn't really make sense, but I'm hoping I really like this feature that bring in the Copilot into the Amazon Connect. So if there's a further improvement, we can really make good use case for it. And this is for organization that can't have Amazon Q connecting to their SharePoint resources, right? So you can have your grounded Copilot agent directly under the Amazon Connect. You do not need to license your call center staff with Copilot license. As long as they have access to SharePoint, they can just use it. And they can do this within the Amazon Connect UI. They don't need to leave the app. You do not need to provide additional entry point for them to access the Copilot agent. So it's very neat. We have seen how easy it is to set up a Amazon Connect call center and enable the AI assistant to give your support staff instant response in real time and provide dynamic informations based on the conversation that your caller, your customer is asking for. This is a great feature that's going to improve the customer service experience and also the productivity and efficiencies. We also see another options that bring the Microsoft Copilot Agent into the Amazon Connect. Although it is not very usable, not perfect at the moment, but I see great potential if they can improve the usability of this technology and integration between the SharePoint agent, the Copilot agent, I should say, with Amazon Connect. There will be a lot of people using it because we all know Microsoft Copilot Studio is very powerful and you can build any agents you want. And because Amazon Connect is just pulling as a web app, that means you can build any agents to fit different scenario and provide them as additional app in your Amazon Connect. And your staff can access it without leaving the workspace, which is very neat. So thank you for watching and see you next time.